So you want to work like Bradley Cooper in that film Limitless, just without the blackouts. In this video, I'm going to detail a cocktail of nutrients that are the procrastination elixir fixer. They are the lazy man's kryptonite. It is the productivity solution, but of course there's no getting around it that quality sleep, good diet, discipline, and appropriate work environment are all quintessential in really achieving an effective work rate and being productive and fostering creativity and focus so you can get the best out of yourself. Because we all have the capability, I think, to work hard, to produce beautiful music or art, to write literature, to work hard in whatever discipline that we decide. But we know it is easy to get bogged down by world's distractions, to let fatigue override and undermine our creativity and our productivity. So here I wanted to detail some really amazing nutrients and herbs that just help give you back that creative edge, that spark, to help enhance your cognitive skills, to get the neurons firing so that you can apply yourself in such a disciplined and effective way so you can prove to everyone, and more importantly yourself, that you have what it takes to produce something amazing. Whether you're looking for ways to just supercharge your days or trying to limit the amount of days where you can't even find your car keys even to find them in your hand, to promote alertness and a positive mood and mindset, or spark creativity and mental clarity. So here are 7 key ingredients to help make that happen. Number 1 is beetroot. This purple root vegetable and the juice that you can tender from it has proved some amazing health benefits that I've talked about in other videos. But one thing that's been uncovered more recently is its amazing effect on your cognition. See, beetroot has received increasing attention as something called a nitric oxide generator. Now, nitric oxide is a crucial component in helping to regulate the vascular tone of your blood vessels, and in doing so, the blood flow. And it also helps regulate the amount of oxygen that your mitochondria are using. Mitochondria are those powerhouses of your cells that produce energy that keep you alive. Now, if you are deficient in nitric oxide, it leads to a cognitive deficit. And this is likely because nitric oxide actually helps alter the cerebral blood flow. We know that when you take nitric oxide, it actually changes the amount of cerebral blood flow in the prefrontal cortex. Now, the prefrontal cortex carries out many different executive functions, including memory and attention and planning, all things that are really, really important for an effective workday. Just the exact things that you need to get the job done. One study in healthy individuals showed that when they were given 450 ml of beetroot juice 90 minutes before a cognitive test, they performed far better than the placebo group who didn't have the beetroot juice. The aim of these cognitive tasks was to really assess the function of the prefrontal cortex, and in this group they performed far better. Not only that, but near-infrared spectroscopy was used to show how the blood flow in the prefrontal cortex was changing in these individuals who took beetroot juice. This amazing study showed that even just a single dose of beetroot juice improved effectiveness during these cognitive tasks. So ask yourself that if you had an exam coming up or a really busy work day that you know you need to apply yourself in a very cerebral way, then simply supplementing this one thing can help elevate your performance. And the neurological benefit seems to extend even further because other studies have shown that it even improves your reaction speed. In a study where they took participants with type 2 diabetes and again separated them into a placebo group and the beetroot group, they found that when applying the beetroot, it actually helped improve their reaction speeds. So once more, ask yourself, would your life or your ability to work at your job be improved if you had better reaction speed? And of course, beetroot itself is just packed with nutrients and has numerous other health benefits, so it is a really useful tool to incorporate into your diet. So if you have a situation where you need to be quick on your feet, either literally or figuratively in terms of cognition, then perhaps beetroot juice is your answer, so you can rev the cerebral engine into next gear. If you're enjoying this video or finding it even slightly interesting, then I would love to have you along for the journey. Please do subscribe, hit the ring ding ding bell, and it'll be the easiest thing you do today, but it might just benefit you for years to come. So number 2 is lion's mane, aka the smart mushroom, aka the fungi's fungi. So lion's mane is a really important species that's been used in medicines for thousands of years in China, Korea, Japan. But if you've been paying attention to the herbosphere, you'll notice that it is exploded in popularity in the Western world because of its brain supporting abilities. So now that the science has caught up, we know exactly why lion's mane is so beneficial. It contains a broad array of just naturally occurring compounds that have an effect on neural tissues. These are important nootropic compounds, i.e. that they have an effect on our cognition and support brain function. Most crucially, they seem to stimulate the production of nerve growth factor and brain-derived nootropic factor. These are chemicals that have potent biological activity in both protecting and promoting the growth of neural tissues. If you think of your brain as this unbelievably complex and large web of connections between neurons, then it is these factors that help promote new connections, i.e. what we call neuroplasticity, the ability to form new connections and the ability to learn and grow. A randomized control study done in Japan showed that when they gave gentlemen 3,000 milligrams of lion's mane daily, they improved their cognitive function. However, these benefits appeared to actually tail off and be lost 4 weeks after stopping supplementation, highlighting the need for lion's mane to be part of your daily supplement routine. Yeah, lion's mane can keep you focused and kind of centered outside of your workspace, whether you're painting your next masterpiece, online gaming with your friends for 15 hours, maintaining concentration and agility during workouts, or simply trying to get through the day. This powerhouse fungi can really help accelerate your ability, not only your mood, but your focus and your overall cognitive scores. I find the easiest way to consume it is simply by adding it to a drink, either a smoothie or a coffee, and you can actually get coffee out there with lion's mane already pre-blended into it. So number 3 is phosphatidylserine, or PS. So PS is a phospholipid. This fatty substance helps protect your neurons. It actually helps transmit messages in your brain to help your cognition and help you function better. Now, the amount of natural PS in your body tends to decrease as you get older, which is why some people choose to supplement as they age to help maintain their cognition. Studies have shown that just taking 400 milligrams of PS a day helped improve their memory and their thinking ability. Now, what's interesting about PS is its role in stress as well. See, it forms a really important part of the cell membrane. So in response to stress, your body will naturally produce adrenaline or epinephrine or norepinephrine. See, PS actually helps regulate these neurotransmitters. It helps to stabilize mood and therefore reduce the symptoms of stress, anxiety, and depression, which is really helpful if you're someone who gets distracted by anxious thoughts. You know, you have a list of 100 things to do and you're constantly thinking of everything else, making it very difficult to focus on the task at hand. And of course, this is just ultimately what results in procrastination. It's what distracts us from our ability to focus on what we really need to do and prioritize effectively. So if you are someone who has this stress overhanging them, then perhaps PS might help you mitigate these symptoms so that you can really just prioritize and focus on what you need to one by one without being distracted. So with improved thinking ability and decreased stress, your focus could improve substantially with the use of PS. So you can find it quite naturally in soybeans, fish, eggs, and animal organs. But of course, as well, you can supplement if you want to just make sure you're getting the correct dose. So number 3 is Ginkgo Biloba. It is one of the oldest living tree species. It is Mother Nature's oldest, wisest remedy. And native to China, it's been used for millennia to help support cognitive function, and it's thought to actually alleviate cognitive decline as we grow older. And this is supported by studies that do show that it does reduce the symptoms of age-related cognitive decline with improved memory and thinking ability. So in a really interesting randomized double-blind controlled study, they had participants take Ginkgo Biloba or a placebo in a randomized order, and they were measuring their ability during working memory tasks, but using electrodes, they were also measuring the potentials of electric activity in certain regions of the brain. And unsurprisingly, Ginkgo was shown to actually improve behavioral performance during these working memory tasks. And what the electrical studies showed was that there was increased action potentials, increased electrical activity in both the frontal and occipital regions. Now, the occipital region is the area of the brain that is the seat of the visual cortex, allowing you to not only see and process external stimuli from the world, but assign meaning to it and to remember visual perceptions. So it has relevance in reading and mapping the visual world, and therefore really important if you're someone who works with lots of visual design work, graphics, anything that's creative. And the frontal cortex, as we've mentioned, is more involved in executive higher order functions, things like planning, your memory, modulating the way you actually think and engage with the world, and your reasoning and capacity to learn. So it seems that you can electrify these areas with the use of ginkgo. So again, I would consider incorporating it into your daily or as you need it. Number 4 is rhodiola, which is this perennial flowering herb that grows wild in the Arctic regions of the world. And what I like about rhodiola is that it addresses the fatigue element. So it seems to work best in those people who are already tired, which of course is really when you need that extra boost. It's when you haven't got enough sleep. It's when you're physically and mentally exhausted. This is when you need perhaps something to just give you that winning advantage. So as an adaptogen, rhodiola helps resist both physical and mental stresses. So in conjunction with its mild stimulating effects, therefore giving you the energy to focus, it also has this added benefit of being able to help you resist and adapt to the stresses in your life, which everyone has at some time. One study that took people with chronic fatigue syndrome. Now, people with chronic fatigue have a very poor ability to be able to maintain focus, but they showed that when they gave them rhodiola, there was significant improvement in their concentration, their mood, their energy levels, quality of life, and stress symptoms after only taking rhodiola 400 milligrams for 1 week. And during this 8-week period of study, it just showed that the improvements got better and better with use. This has been echoed in other similar studies where they took men and women between 20 and 55 and had them take rhodiola, this time at a dose just above 500 milligrams. And this time measuring their quality of life, but also their depression rating, symptoms of fatigue. And once more, they found similar effects, even shown to actually adjust the levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, in their saliva. So it was concluded that rhodiola seems to have this amazing effect at enhancing your concentration by reducing your fatigue, making you feel better, more positive, and adapting to the stresses in the world, which in the modern world is more crucial than ever because there are so many different stresses laid upon people. We live in this overstimulating environment where people can be so easily pulled from their task and their meaning of life by all these other things that drag you down. So if rhodiola can help just buffer some of these pressures, if it can help alleviate some of these weights so you can focus on what you'd like to do, whether that be focusing more on your job to get the better performance or even just applying yourself in your own creative way, rhodiola seems to have this quite all-encompassing positive effect. It is the burnout remedy. So if you're someone, let's take doctors for example, where burnout levels are so high in the profession, rhodiola could be used to help this. If you're someone who feels like the gas tank is empty and you really are running on fumes, then rhodiola might just help give you back a little something and help just turn the tides so that you can then address the other things in your life. So number 6 is maca root. This is indigenous to Peru and has been traditionally used to help increase sex drive and fertility and energy. And we know from studies that it's just packed full of loads of vital nutrients that are there to support both brain and bodily functions. And it might do this by supporting a number of different brain mechanisms and different areas of the brain such as the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland. It's rich in polyphenols and vitamin B6. So maca has this neuroprotective effect where it defends neurons from inflammation and neurotoxins, whilst the polyphenols as antioxidants also help improve your cognition and memory. And vitamin B6 is really important for actually producing a number of neurotransmitters, making sure you have them in abundant supply. So a group of researchers set out to study the effects of maca using red and black maca in a group of participants at high altitude. They were given 3 grams of either a placebo, red or black maca root for a period of 12 weeks. And the primary outcomes they were measuring were things like changes in sexual desire, mood, health-related quality of life, energy levels, and then even physical things like hemoglobin levels and glucose metabolism. So of all the amazing findings, the things that were most relevant was that red maca was shown to help improve mood and energy. You can get maca easily and integrate it into your diet quite seamlessly. Personally, I like to use smoothies, adding just a few grams daily into a smoothie. Voila. So lastly, number 7 is L-theanine. And this is an amino acid that's primarily found in a number of teas, things like green, black, matcha tea, and it's been shown to improve your attention and your working memory. It's said to actually help foster wakefulness, but at the same time, a state of calm, having a boosting effect on both your mental and physical health. It may actually lower your heart rate and your blood pressure and other symptoms of anxiety. But in addition to its stress relieving properties, it also has benefits on cognition. Now you might have noticed that of all the things I mentioned here today, I haven't mentioned caffeine, and for good reason. Number 1, because people know caffeine is a brain booster, it's no secret. But number 2, because I was saving it for here. See, what's interesting about L-theanine is that it can be combined with caffeine and it seems to increase the effects, enhance the effects of both of them. See, L-theanine and caffeine, when used in combination, was shown in a study to improve both speed and accuracy of cognitive performance tasks, and was actually shown to reduce the amount of distractibility so people could just focus far better. So what's amazing is you get this beneficial but balancing effect of caffeine and L-theanine. You get a wakefulness, a stimulant, but also calm and able to avoid distractions. So in an amazing study, they took young boys with ADHD, who of course notorious for not being able to focus on certain tasks, and yet they were shown that when using L-theanine and caffeine, that they reduced their mind wandering and improved their inhibitory control. And in a study in Japan, it was shown that they got improved work rate and reduced stress with the use of these two. And an overall systematic review of studies that included these two in conjunction, it was concluded that there seems to be a significant benefit in cognition, attention, memory, and hyperactivity. So there you have it. So I hope you've gained something from this list of Super 7 nutrients that might just help you elevate your game to the next level. As always, do discuss with your physician, but I would love to have you on for the next video, so please do like, subscribe, ring ding ding that notification bell. But it's been a pleasure. Take care.